Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen to that. Oh, man. Thank you, Bill Cooksey. That's a great job to kind of introduce these next two guests that's going to be on this segment with us. And I know they probably don't know each other, but at the same time, they both have a love of turkey hunting. And this show is dedicated to the turkey hunters on this Saturday, March the 30th. And first, I want to bring in my good friend Keith Hickman out of Buchanan, Tennessee. Hey, Keith, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Real good.
Real good. And, Keith, I know we're going to talk about hunting for a cure.
Absolutely.
It's come and gone again, and we're going to talk with you primarily about that event last weekend and maybe throw out some numbers. And then we want to hook up with our good friend with Hunter Specialties, and that's Steve Cobb. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, we're doing great. We wanted to get you in there, Steve, because I know how much you love turkey hunting and how Hunter Specialties is now part of our family just about, with the hookup with Lou's and the hookup with Strike King. So you guys kind of bear with me a little bit as we talk turkey hunting, and I want you to listen as Keith talks about this great event that we just had last weekend up in near Savannah, Tennessee, and that's the Hunting for the Cure that I was a part of for many, many years. And
Keith, I want in that next year.
Yeah, Keith.
Come on.
Bill Cooksey needs to be in that. Yeah.
Yeah, give me some information, and I'll get you hooked up with the right people to get you signed up as a guide.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, Steve may be one on this too, so let's talk about it. The Hunting for the Cure, if I'm not mistaken, and Steve, listen to this as we talk about it, was when this was the 19th. Is that right, that we had last week?
That's 15th.
How many?
15th year.
How many?
15.
15.
Wow.
15. 15th, yeah, excuse me, 15th. And you guys topped a lot of deals. You went over $1 million, didn't you?
We went over $1 million a couple of years ago.
Wow. Where are you now?
This year we raised $194,000, which was down just a few thousand from last year. But to date, for 15 years, over $1.5 million.
Wow.
And when you consider the thing that really blows my mind, the first year we had it, we only had 15 kids, and we raised $3,500.
I was there.
Yeah.
And on the front porch of the old house, and the lofty goals from Barney Davis and his son Mike, and all of you good folks there. When you look at it back, and you see how much you have raised, it's pretty remarkable. I mean, to do this. So tell our listeners, as Steve listens in for a few minutes, about Hunting for the Cure. How many kids you have this year? Talk about.
We had 95 kids this year. We've come a long way. We've secured a lot of good farms. People have just come out and donated their land for these kids for that day and a half. We had 35 turkeys harvested.
Wow.
Numerous misses, I've heard all kind of stories, and that's going to happen. We hunting kids anywhere from, 7 years old all the way up to 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
It was just a great event. The good Lord blessed us with an unbelievable morning. It was absolutely perfect morning.
And you got guides, and that's
absolutely.
What Cooksy's talking about.
Guides.
95 guides. And how much those guys get paid?
Absolutely zero.
It's zero. And all
zero.
So how do we raise money for St. Jude with this?
Well, the kids have a minimum donation of $200.
Okay.
To come hunt, they have to raise $200. Sometimes the parents pay it. Sometimes the kids just go out and knock on doors.
Yeah.
I didn't see the final total on what the winning kid won last year. A little girl from Ohio, I think, raised about $9,000 last year.
Wow.
So, is that something? Yeah.
So the minimum's $200, and the sky's the limit on the rest of them. I've got kids here in Paris that their parents sell turkeys, deep fried turkeys on Thanksgiving, and all that money goes to St. Jude's. It's just an absolutely phenomenal. The whole story from where it started to where it's come to.
Yeah,
somebody needs to write a book.
I need to do that. I need to do that because I was there. I know what the vision was. I know it. I still see my name on board of directors. I hope when I pass away, I'm still a member because I was there and to do this. Of course, Keith is the PGA professional, a member at Paris Landing State Park Golf, one of my favorite places, and I got to bring in Steve Cobb on this because I know Steve, being from South Carolina, I'm sure you've heard of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and
of course,
and the work it does in this area for kids who don't pay a dime. And when you hear something like this as a turkey hunter, doesn't this kind of hit home with you too?
Oh, definitely. I'll tell you what, I have been a part in some of those hunts, and the volunteers and the landowners are remarkable to donate their property and their time for this event. And it's amazing to see the smiles on these kids' faces, whether they harvest a bird or not.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, and the thing about this, and Keith, you can say this too, is the memories. I mean, you need to go to the Facebook page of the Hunting for a Cure. I'm not exactly what it is, but you can Google it and see the photographs and see these kids. Boy, y'all have got it down now, man. You got little pictures of kids on the steps with all sorts of things around them. It's pretty remarkable. And you look back at this thing, and I guess from your standpoint, Keith, you've been turkey hunting for how long?
This will be my 33rd season.
33rd season. You remember your first bird?
Yeah, absolutely. I can take you back and almost put you on the exact spot where I was.
Really?
I was standing.
How old were you then?
Well, I don't know. My bass stopped that good. I think I was 29.
29. Okay. All right. Steve, how about you? You remember your first bird?
I remember my first one when I was 13 years old. Caught it in myself, and I'm gonna tell you what. From then, I've been hooked on it. And I tell you what, turkey hunting is absolutely just a passion that I have that I can't get over. There's no doubt.
And Keith, your feelings on the sport? Why do you get into it?
Well, I kind of backed into it. I grew up quail hunting.
I know you did.
And I grew up. I had bird dogs, raised bird dogs, had a kennel, the whole thing. Had 30 bird dogs at one time.
30.
And when I moved, I had 30 bird dogs. And never thought I wouldn't have a day I'd have a pair of pointer bird dogs. But anyway, long story short, I got up here and the birds disappeared. And next thing you know, I was turkey hunting and fell in love with it, and then got involved with NWKF and trying to preserve something that I love so much because I didn't want to see it go by the wayside like a quail have. So the rest of it's kind of been history.
Well, you may be the only, you know any PGA golf pros that turkey hunt?
I guarantee. I guarantee there's a few.
Some. Rodney Lingle, who was a superintendent at Memphis Country Club forever.
Yeah.
He was a huge turkey hunter.
Okay.
Rodney Lingle was he's moved to Texas, but he was a huge turkey hunter.
Well, I know Davis Love and some of those guys are turkey hunters on the tour.
Bobby Watkins. Bobby Watkins is a big-time turkey hunter.
Yeah, Bobby Watkins. Yeah, that's from your neck over there, isn't it? South Carolina, in that area? Yep. Yeah, so those guys, we'll talk about it. And again, we're talking to Keith Hickman out of Buchanan, Tennessee, and also on the line with us is Steve Cobb. He's the Hunter Specialties pro staff member that we're glad to have part of the Outdoors of Larry Ray, 8-time South Carolina state champion. Now, I got to ask you now, I read these awards. Steve's won them. Keith, have you ever won an award for turkey calling?
To me?
I'm waiting for you to respond. Yeah.
I didn't know if you said Steve or Keith.
I said
won
Keith.
One a long, long time ago, and then I realized I wasn't near good enough to win any really big competition, so I gave up on it.
Good for you. Yeah, you stuck with golf, right? So.
Well, I stuck with golf and just trying to learn how to kill turkeys and just doing the best I could with it.
All right. Well, how many hole-in-ones you got?
0.
See,
really? How would you, Larry?
See, that's why I have Keith on as my.
As your golf guy?
He's my motivator. I mean, I'm 76 years old and I hadn't made a hole-in-one. I'm waiting on Keith to make one, and then I'll do one.
We got something to look forward to, Larry. We got something to look forward to.
Yeah, it's still out there. If Bobby Hall gets one for me, I'm really going to be mad. So that's just the way it is. But again, let's talk a little bit about mentoring. And Keith, I know you take advantage of this. The kid, did you deal with one child last weekend?
Yes, from New York. I got involved.
New York.
Long story. Met him online. but my kids for the last 10 years or 11 years have come from New York. I hooked up with a guy who was on tnturkey.com.
Yeah.
I met him. He found out about hunting for a cure. He brought his son. And since then, he had 4 kids. He's brought them all but one at different times. Some of them he brings twice, 2 at a time.
Uh-huh.
Now his brother-in-law's coming, bringing their kids, and other kids are coming from New York. So
amazing.
I've been a New York connection for the past 11 years.
That just doesn't seem right. Buchanan, Tennessee to New York. I mean, that's one of the unusual.
Well, you met a guy hunting from New York one time.
Oh
didn't you?
yeah. I met a guy from Buffalo, New York. Trips into the woods one time at Chickasaw, and I saw this license plate and it said New York on it where I parked. And me and Robert Cliff were clicking through the woods there, and we run into him. It turns out to be Daryl Radijak, who was ended up being the chief of wildlife.
He's in Arizona.
Yeah, he's in Arizona. No, he's New Mexico.
New Mexico. Same thing. Come on.
Yeah. Well, talk about Steve. I know as a mentor for people. You're a past state chairman chapter for the Jakes. What advice do you give for parents that they got a kid walking around with a mouth call in and doing a good job? Talk about how do you get kids involved in this?
Well, one thing you can definitely do is take them to a local turkey calling competition, and that's what got me involved back when I was 13. One of my mentors gave me a turkey call, and I actually entered the junior state South Carolina contest and won the first one I ever been, and that pretty much lit my fire, and became a junior state champion, then a adult state champion for quite a few years, and I've been very fortunate to go to the NWTF convention and called and have placed in the Grand National several times, and been a big-time judge and MC now. I about retired my calling competition. My days are over. My nerves can't take it anymore.
Well, what if you had to make a 3-foot putt worth $400,000?
That'd be tough.
That relates, doesn't it, Keith? So
absolutely.
Yeah. And Keith, I want to apologize if I offended you that you hadn't made a hole-in-one. I didn't want to really. Okay. I didn't want to bring that up, but it just happened because he knows that I keep trying, and I'm saying I'm quitting when I make one.
Heck, I've hit a hole-in-one.
Oh, you've never made a hole-in-one?
Yeah, I did. Jackson Country Club in 1979.
Can we cut this now? This is ended right now. Cooksy's made a hole-in-one. That wasn't what I wanted.
It didn't count, though.
Yeah, it didn't count?
The flag had been moved to the summer green from the winter green, and it went in the winter green. They hadn't plugged it yet.
Well, we're getting off the subject.
Now you know the rest of the story.
Now I know the rest of the story.
How's the turkeys gobbling in Tennessee?
Yeah, you can do that. Just gobble away and everything like that. Hey, guys, thank you, Keith. Always great to have you. Thank you for the 2 umbrellas, buddy. They went fine. They were big hits. Appreciate you doing that. Steve, let's stay in touch now since we want to stay in touch with all you hunter specialty guys to give us some help here. And everybody have a great and safe hunting season. And, Keith, I'm going to do a story on that, okay? We'll work together on that.
You need to do that. And anybody's interested, just Google Hunting for a Cure. I think it's .net.
Yes.
It's all the information is there. It gives us contacts if you want to sign up for a guide, if you got a kid. And when that comes out now, if you got somebody wanting to hunt, you better sign them up because, at 95 they shut it off and it's a waiting list.
Wow. And there's a waiting list. Thank you, buddy. All right, both you guys, thank y'all. Have a great day. We'll talk, okay?
All right,
yes,
thank
sir.
you.
You take care. Good talking.
Thank you. All right, let's take a break. Come right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And this may be something else now. I don't know what John Sloan is liable to say. We'll be right back.